The streets of China's major cities have been rocked by protests, highlighting deep-seated frustration with the country's zero COVID policy. After years of lockdown, a few voices have even been heard calling for leader Xi Jinping to step down. The state's powerful security machine remains in control for now, but the frustration that inspired the protests is real. And now Mr. Xi faces a dilemma. Should he ease restrictions and potentially risk more than 500,000 deaths from COVID-19, or continue the lockdowns and put his economy under further strain and social order at risk?
Xi Jinping should have done something different a year ago. He should have got ready for this moment. Now the real worry is that they're going to pay a terrible price. Xi Jinping has built an extraordinary security machine that means that this or that political protest probably doesn't frighten him that much. He can crush those. He's already rounding people up. But the fact that it speaks to a real anger that is so much larger and so widespread, that is why I think we see them now scrambling to change course without a plan. Zero COVID is not just the same policies we have in, say, Britain or America, but a bit stricter. It has an incredibly sort of ambitious core, which is every single positive case of COVID should be found and put into quarantine as soon as possible. Xi Jinping faces a really tough dilemma because the quickest way to end the anger is to lift the lockdowns and get back to normal. But he still has a virus raging around China. And if he lifts too quickly or without the right preparations, then he could have a giant exit wave and huge numbers of deaths. There are scenarios and models where you get 680,000, 700, 1 million people could die. China had a pretty good vaccine campaign earlier, but this year they've hardly vaccinated at all. They haven't really addressed that big problem of the old not getting vaccinated. COVID is not just a health problem in China. Xi Jinping has made this into a central argument that the Communist Party loves the people of China and is keeping them safe and doesn't want them to die. And that is the big difference with decadent, selfish democracies in places like America, where 1 million people have died because of this pandemic. And so because he's made it into a totem of the benevolence and wisdom of the Communist Party, to have a failure now is more than a public health disaster. It's a major political humiliation. He needs to make this less about politics and allow the experts and the scientists to dictate the policy, which has not been happening because it was all about Xi Jinping as the commander-in-chief of a people's war against COVID. No other government in the world is trying to fight COVID like a war. It's not a war. And if you keep this up, they're going to be defeated. I'm David Rennie, Beijing Bureau Chief. For more of our coverage of the pandemic in China, you can click on the link. Or please subscribe. Thank you for watching.